The mystery of time travel, a journey through science and imagination time. It slips through our fingers second by second, shaping our lives yet forever out of reach. For centuries, humanity has wondered, what if we could break free from its chains? What if we could travel into the past or leap forward into the future? This is the story of time travel, a story that blends science, history, and imagination. Tonight, as you listen, let your mind drift. Imagine yourself not bound to the present, but floating along the endless river of time. The ancient dream. The earliest myths already spoke of bending time. In Hindu texts, a man visits the gods for a few minutes, only to return and find that centuries have passed on Earth. In Japan, the tale of Urashima Taro tells of a fisherman who spends 3 days under the sea, yet returns to discover that 300 years have gone by. Long before science, humanity dreamed of escaping the clock. But in the late 19th century, imagination became literature. In 1895, H.G. Wells published The Time Machine. His story didn't just entertain, it created the very word time machine. For the first time, people imagined technology that could break the rules of time. Einstein and the birth of relativity. It was Albert Einstein who transformed dreams into equations. In 1905, his theory of special relativity showed that time is not absolute. It bends and stretches depending on how fast you move. Imagine twins. One stays on Earth, the other boards a spaceship, traveling close to the speed of light. When the traveler returns, only a few years have passed for him, while decades have gone by for his brother. This is the famous twin paradox. Relativity tells us that time travel to the future is not science fiction. It is a law of physics. Every astronaut aboard the International Space Station has already experienced this, aging a fraction of a second less than those of us on Earth. Black holes and wormholes. If speed bends time, gravity twists it even more. Black holes with their infinite density can slow time almost to a stop. To an observer outside, a person falling into a black hole seems frozen forever at the edge. But perhaps even stranger are wormholes, tunnels predicted by Einstein's equations that might connect distant points in space and time. The physicist Kip Thorne once calculated that, in theory, a wormhole could be stabilized and turned into a time machine. It would be unimaginably difficult, but not impossible under the laws of physics. The paradoxes of time travel. Yet here lies the danger. If time travel to the past is possible, logic begins to break. What if you went back and prevented your grandparents from meeting? This is the grandfather paradox. Without them, you would never exist. So how could you have traveled back in the first place? Another puzzle is the bootstrap paradox. Imagine bringing Shakespeare's plays to the past, giving them to Shakespeare himself, who then publishes them. Who then truly wrote the works? The origin is lost in an infinite loop. Paradoxes remind us that time is not just a physical concept. It is tangled with logic, causality, and perhaps even free will. Experiments that bend. Time, though science fiction captures the imagination, real experiments already show time's flexibility. At CERN, particles called muons are accelerated to near light speed. They decay more slowly than when at rest, proof that time itself dilates. Atomic clocks flown around the Earth on airplanes return slightly out of sync with those left on the ground. Even GPS satellites must constantly adjust their internal clocks, or else your phone's map would drift by kilometers each day. Time is not fixed. It flows differently depending on speed and gravity. We are already time travelers, just in tiny, imperceptible ways. Stephen Hawking's warning. The late Stephen Hawking once joked, if time travel were possible, we'd already be overrun by tourists from the future. He even hosted a party for time travelers, sending out invitations only after it was over. Unsurprisingly, no one showed up. But behind the humor was caution. Hawking suggested that the laws of physics might include a kind of cosmic censorship that prevents paradoxes from happening. Still, he admitted, we cannot yet be certain. The endless question. So, is time travel possible? The answer depends on what kind. Forward, into the future. Absolutely, it is written into the universe. Backward into the past? Maybe, but if it is, the truth remains hidden. Perhaps the universe protects itself, locking the past beyond our reach. Or perhaps, one day, a civilization far beyond ours will discover the secret, opening a door that has always been waiting. Until then, time remains both our prison and our greatest mystery. So, as you drift to sleep tonight, imagine yourself stepping through that door. Behind you, the past. Ahead, the unknown future. And in between, this fragile, fleeting moment, the present, the only piece of time we truly own,